I'm Emma Hammett. I'm a nurse and I run First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com. Now, I wanted to run through some of the things that children commonly swallow and what to do as a parent or child carer if you find something missing. So this is the size, roughly, of a child's airway. So you can see a huge number of things can potentially be popped in. If you think about it, the reason that children put things in their mouths is that it's an extra sense for them, as well as seeing, hearing, smelling and all that side of things. As they're learning, they put things in their mouths because of the sensation and the touch and that extra dimension. And very often they will swallow them. So, sort of things to worry about. If it is a nice smooth coin, 99.9% of the time it will pass through and end up down the other end. If you are worried and it hasn't reappeared when you expect it to, or if your child starts behaving strangely, drooling, tummy ache, that sort of thing, then do take them to hospital. But generally, something small and round like a coin will pass straight through. However, something else small and round, like a button battery, may not pass straight through. And should that be inserted in by the child into their nose or in their ear or swallowed and it gets stuck, a lithium battery like this will produce a huge amount of caustic soda, and caustic soda will burn through the flesh, and that's what happens. So really important that these button batteries are kept out of reach. Even when this button battery is dead and no longer able to power whatever it was powering, it can still do damage and burn through within just a couple of hours, burn right through your child's gut or wherever they have put it. If you suspect one of these is missing, take your child to hospital and get them x-rayed. Get them x-rayed quickly. Sadly, sometimes it's happened that the first time the parent's been aware of something missing has been when the child starts vomiting blood. And sometimes that is too late. So keep these very well screwed into the toys or the remote control or whatever they are in, and make sure that they are well out of reach and that all the fixings are safe. And dispose of old batteries really, really carefully. And that includes even these little tiny ones that can still do a huge amount of damage, and they will just slip down a child's throat very quickly. Now, magnets. Magnets are dangerous too. So these sort of magnets, you also get magnets within these toys that are sometimes sold for younger children that stick together. These are super magnets within here. They are very small, but if the plastic casing is broken, they're about 4 times stronger generally than is advised in any form of toys. So they are dangerous. If the child swallows a couple of these, so if they swallow one of these, probably just pass through unless they've swallowed something metal at the same time. If they swallow a couple of the little tiny magnetic bits from within these, then what can happen is the bits of gut can stick together, they can twist, they can perforate, and it can cause very, very serious problems. It can require reconstructive surgery, it can require bowel to be removed, and it can, it can cause severe infections as well with long-term complications. So again, make sure if the child's playing with magnets, that you are supervising that play. If an older child's playing with magnets, they're doing so safely out of reach of a younger sibling. And that if you suspect your child has eaten a magnet, that you get them to hospital quickly and they have an x-ray. Things like Lego and stuff, very often you have an older sibling who is playing with things that are age appropriate for them. If they drop a small piece, again, it can be popped into their mouth and they will be feeling all the sensations and they can swallow them. Any of these. Now, some of these have got some quite sharp corners. If they were to swallow those, it could do some damage inside. So be careful. Make sure that these are kept out of reach of younger children. Be careful of Granny's handbag as well. That can have a lot of exciting things to play with, but not always safe. Dishwasher tablets and liquipods from washing machines and things, they look really appealing. If a child bites into one of those, they are really strong alkaline and they will burn them. So if a child has bitten into a dishwasher tablet or something and you find them like that, ideally you would lean them forward, you would get whatever you can out of their mouth and get them to swill around and spit if you possibly can. Otherwise, small sips of milk or water and get an ambulance on the way if it's something like this and you suspect that it could have gone down to their airway, because it could end up burning their airway, which could end up sort of blocking. So really, really careful with these, particularly things like dishwasher tablets, where you might put them into your dishwasher because you thought you were going to put a full load on, realise there isn't really enough to justify putting it on, and that leaves the dishwasher tablet accessible to the child. And sometimes they've got a little Smartie on, they look really appealing, and they can then reach them and get into them before you've even realised. So be very, very careful. Other things to watch out for, things like medication, so ibuprofen and tablets, because they're nice and sugary, they taste nice for them. Calpol and paracetamol and all that sort of stuff, keep it out of reach. Birth control tablets, be very, very careful. If your child has swallowed something and they are behaving fine, then you can phone the poisons database or 111 and get advice from them. If they start behaving strangely, if they are hyperactive or floppy or complaining of tummy ache or something, and you suspect it's because they have eaten something, then phone for an ambulance and get the ambulance to come to you. So don't make them sick. Making them sick can make it worse, particularly if it was something that was a corrosive substance like a dishwasher tablet that could seriously burn on the way down and burn again on the way up. So never make them sick and get help fast. If you do suspect they've swallowed something poisonous, try and avoid them running around, so get them to sit quietly, because it will mean that they'll metabolize it that little bit slower. And if you are seriously worried about them, get emergency help quickly. I hope that is helpful. Please keep all those dangerous little things out of the way, particularly magnets and button batteries and any of these liquipods. If this has been helpful for you, please share. Please let other people know. There are children injured in this way all the time, every day. If we can share and stop this happening, then all the better. So that's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Life and onlinefirstaid.com. Thank you for listening.